Shearn Kilpatrick owns the night. 38 points. And the Nets snap their 7-game losing streak. A marathon, and it belongs to Brooklyn.
Look, when you have struggled like we've seen over the last 7 games, this is exactly what you need. Not only one for a win, but to come together as a group and to feel what it feels like again to win a game, especially a close game that you grind out in double overtime.
Sarah Kustok standing by with a hero.
Thank you, Ian. Sean, you snap a 7-game losing streak against one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Put into perspective this win, considering the way it finished.
We worked all week, and we kept sitting there telling each other that we was going to get a win eventually. And the more we continue to keep sitting here playing together and getting a feel for one another, I think the better are we off. So, I mean, today we played with tremendous heart, man. I mean, down all the way to the last minute on our bench. I mean, those guys did a great job of really sitting here making sure that we stayed in the game. And, I mean, it's a hard-fought game. Like you said, that's the best team in the West. I mean, one of them. I mean, that's tough, man. So really come out here and get out a win. It was pretty good.
Sean, for you individually, you set new career highs, 38 points, 13 rebounds, but 20 points in that fourth quarter, 8 more in the extra frames. What was your mindset? Take us to how you got that edge and got locked in the way we saw.
Just continue to keep attacking, man. I mean, the first half I played terrible. I mean, I was letting my team down, and on top of it, I was just continue to sitting there telling myself something was going to happen. I mean, God was going to make sure that something happened for me. And I mean, at the end of the day, Jeremy was on the bench, and you had coach on the bench telling me just continue to keep playing. And that's something that I really take account of. I mean, especially when your teammates and your coaches have that type of confidence in you, that's something huge for a player. And I commend my teammates and my coaches for that.
You go on a scoring spree, but key to that win down the stretch was your defense. What changed for you guys on that end of the floor?
Well, for one, Isaiah did a great job on Chris Paul. I mean, he's arguably one of the best players in this league. I mean, he's a general in this league, and for a rookie to really come in here and continue to keep playing as hard as he did, I mean, he's chasing them up and down this court. So I give a lot of that credit to Isaiah. I mean, he did a tremendous job today.
All right, Sean, thanks so much for your time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, Sarah. Mikhail Prokhorov among those on their feet, high fives all around. And finally a chance to exhale and enjoy the victory. It took double overtime. And the player of the game presented by your local Tri-Honda dealer. It's Sean Kilpatrick, 38 points, career highs in points. Field goals made, field goals attempted, rebounds, 3-point field goals attempted, and minutes. He logged 47 of them.
What an evening. I mean, here's a guy who really struggled in the first half. You heard him just say that he was terrible in the first half, letting his teammates down. Then all of a sudden he started to pick it up, a career-high 38 points. His aggressive nature, though, to go after the basket, I think, is a big difference for this team. I thought maybe 1 or 2 shots that he rushed in the overtimes in terms of trying to get shots off too quickly. But when they needed him the most, he was effective. He went to the basket all the time and made some great plays. And I think, when you think this one right here, I was shocked that Jordan went for the strip waist high. He squeezes the ball up. I thought Jordan would play that up above the rim and try to block it. Sean Kilpatrick went right at him. Huge play down the stretch.
Now, you brought it up. He was going to the basket. As you take a look at his numbers from his last 4 games, playing extremely well, especially tonight, obviously our Geico player of the game. But you said he was going to the basket. He struggled over the first 3 quarters, Jimmy. He was 3 for 14 with 7 points, then exploded in the fourth quarter in those overtimes, 11 for 20, put up 31 points in the fourth in those 2 OTs. Is that what a player needs to do to get himself going, start getting to the basket?
Yeah, a little bit of both, I think, Chris. And if you recall, not only did he drive to the basket a couple of times, but then he started hitting a few shots right in front of Doc Rivers and the Clippers bench. And you could just tell that, he's a streaky player to begin with, and he started to get on a roll and started to believe in himself. And really, the good scorers in this league at any level, but at this league in particular, they forget about their mistakes as fast as they possibly can. You could tell at that point that he had forgotten about the first half. He had now been in cruise control in that fourth quarter and just started to play through and continue on the upswing rather than worrying about the negative.